training. I also provide corporate trainings, and so in this training module, we will be discussing about the topics like CMDB, discovery, event management. So this training is basically for IT people, those who have little bit knowledge about ITSM, so that they know things about tools, and also they should have some information or some knowledge about networking, at least how we can create classes, the concepts of classes, and your TCP/IP models and all those things. Basics of networking they should know. That is a prerequisite. And after going through this training, because I will be showing up the real time things, because generally in every company there is a CMDB, okay, and in the client infrastructure CMDB is a mess, because what you have to do is you have to troubleshoot their CMDB problems, okay, that can be related to the duplicate errors, that can be duplicate CIs, arranging CMDB, finding out why discovery is not working, troubleshooting discovery errors, and you have to fine tune their CMDB. I am working as a senior tech lead in an MNC, and where I am handling both ITSM and ITOM. So generally in my experience, I have seen mostly the companies that is a client infrastructure, their CMDB is not working. So when we talk about CMDB, we also talk about discovery, because discovery is the way to populate the CMDB. Now, do you guys have any knowledge about CMDB? Anyone, any knowledge?
Have very basic experience, Akriti, like updating the new CS, updating the existing CS, adding the new CS, like very basic stuff.
Okay. So this course content comes under ITOM. So thing is, ITOM stands for IT Operation Management. That is a backend. When we talk about ITOM, it is about servers, data centers, which we use at the backend. Now, why ITOM is important? Thing is, for every every company, their website or their servers are important, so that they can provide seamless seamless service to the customer. For example, let's take one example. For example, the payment banks like Paytm or any other payment banks. Now suppose you are making a transaction, okay, and at the time that you are making a transaction, their server, primary server, goes down. So you have made a transaction, amount got debited from your account, but Paytm did not approve that. So what you will do? I mean i mean you have made a transaction, right, and they are not approving it. The transaction has been made, it is on hold from Paytm side, but amount got debited from your bank account, okay, because Paytm primary server is down, okay. So will you rely on that payment bank?
No.
uh, is it clear to everyone what I'm trying to say? What is the need of item? I'm just explaining you. So thing is, if the server is down, okay, the customer should not feel the difference. So if primary server is down, Secondary server should be available to take up the load of the primary server, so that customer should get seamless service. Suppose you are in a restaurant, you made the payment, okay. Now the owner of the restaurant didn't receive the payment, but amount got debited from your account. That means you have to make another payment. So that is the from another payment bank, because you cannot trust that earlier payment back again. So there is a need of ITOM here. Servers, how they are communicating with each other. If primary server is down, how the secondary server is taking up the load, how we can select the secondary server which can take up the load. All these things comes under ITOM. Okay, so in the back end, customer should get a seamless service, because for every business, customer is important. More customer, and you should also retain your customer by providing seamless service. That is important for the business. That is why ITOM is important. This is one part. Second part is, every organization has CMDB, because they do multiple things, and central part of organization is in CMDB. CMDB means configuration management database. It is a database which is a collection of tables and records. Okay. Now we know, do you guys have idea about integration? Guys, I want a interactive session. So if you are silent, I would not be able to get to
Yeah,
know guys. Okay.
yeah,
So
Kriti. Integration like integrating this SCCM and JAMF tool into
third party.
service now, right?
Yeah, when two parties communicate with each other, that is an integration. Okay. Now it can be third party generally. So there are multiple sources which can populate CMDB. It can be Excel sheet, it can be your Jira, it can be any other third party. Now, when different parties want to populate the same CMDB, there are chances that you can get duplicate records. Okay. So you know, for any database, there should not be any duplicate records. So here we have identification and reconciliation rule. Okay. IRE engine basically, which actually prevents duplicate entry. So we will also, practically we will see that thing. Now, now there is a out of box, there is a best practice to populate CMDB is discovery. Discovery means discovering IP enabled devices. Any device which is connected to internet has an IP address that can be discoverable. It can be a software, it can be a hardware, like hardware device, a laptop, desktop. It can be networking device also, like printer, router, modem. Okay. So discovery is the first, it is the best practice. It should be given priority first to populate the CMDB. After that, there can be other third parties which is coming from the integration. Is this concept clear?
Yes, Akriti.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So, see, suppose there is a company called ABC. Okay. And that company wants to identify their IP enabled devices, like how many routers are there, how many servers are there, how many standalone devices are there. They want to identify those devices. Okay. Now they have contacted ServiceNow to do that. Now ServiceNow is another company itself. So ServiceNow directly cannot go to the client infrastructure because of the firewall. You can see firewall setting. ServiceNow directly cannot go. So they have installed a mid server in the company premises. And what is a mid server? It is a lightweight Java program which is installed in client infrastructure. And its purpose is to gather the information from client infrastructure and move those information into ServiceNow. So ServiceNow, we have two things. One is probe, another one is sensor. Probe, it is an instruction which is given by the ServiceNow, okay, to mid server. And according to the instruction given by the ServiceNow, mid server perform its activity to gather the information. So once it gathers the information, it sends the information back to ServiceNow, which is analyzed by sensor, okay, and it populates the CMDB. So that information can be related to your networking device, can be related to your hardware, can be related to your servers, can be related to your cloud, can be related to your storage devices also, common storage devices. Is it clear, this diagram?
Yeah, Kriti, do we need to do any scripting for connecting to mid server, or how it will be done? Yeah. Just
No,
asking
no, no,
because we don't
scripting
have a
is
scripting knowledge. That's why.
no, scripting knowledge is not required. Uh, you should know a few concepts related to networking. Scripting is not required at all because it is only configuration based. Now, demand for
Okay.
CMDB is there because you have to take a decision. What to, because if you are getting first you have to find out whether you are having a duplicate records or not. If you are getting duplicate records, what to do with the duplicate records, okay. You have to take a meeting with the stakeholders because you cannot take decision your own. As a CMDB specialist or as a ITOM specialist, you cannot take any decision on the behalf of stakeholders or company higher management. They will tell you what they want. If they want to, best practices, you should not delete any record in the client infrastructure. Suppose you are getting duplicate CIs, okay, because of the multiple integrations. What you have to do, you have to identify which is the primary one, and rest of them you just move it into do deduplicate task. So basically you are not deleting anything, you are just moving the duplicate records, okay, into another table. So which
Okay.
will not affect the CMDB. Okay. So why it is important? Because you will take a decision. Scripting is only limited to your ITSM and any other modules, but ITOM scripting is not required.
Okay.
It's a configuration. You have to understand the thing, and you have to find out because here also we will troubleshoot the errors. Okay, because in this infrastructure, it is in my PDI, it is not possible because it is a free PDI. But I will show you some screenshots, okay, from my client infrastructure to show you what kind of errors you are getting and how we can tackle this type of errors.
Okay.
For example, suppose you want to run a discovery. Okay, now discovery means you want to know the things about that particular CI. So suppose, okay, you need IP address of that, right? What is the IP address? And you also need credentials, username and password. So suppose a credential error you are getting. Okay, you are not able to discover the device because credentials are not provided. In that case, you will held a meeting with the stakeholders that please provide valid credentials. or credentials that you have provided that are expired. So this type of
Okay.
meetings you need to take, right? They will provide you credentials, then again you have to run a discovery. So I will tell you, because this is the same thing I am also doing in my organization multiple times. So basically, ITOM means phase by phase, you have to run a discovery, successful discovery. There should not be any duplicate CIs. Okay. And also, if the CMDB is unmanaged, you have to manage them. Okay.
Okay.
For that, you have to take up various meetings, because every phase you will get errors. That is the reason they come to you, right? Every phase you will get errors, and you have to troubleshoot the errors to correct them. Clear?
Yeah, yeah, Kriti.
Okay. So basically, if you see here, so whenever the mid servers is sharing the information with the service now, it has to be secure, right? So it is encrypted and decrypted in this HTTPS 443. This is a secure way to send the data to ServiceNow, because CMDB is in ServiceNow, which is outside the company premises. Okay. So all the information, these are what? These are probes. And there is a concept called port probes. Okay. Suppose I want to run a discovery. I don't know what kind of device it is. So there are different phases of discovery. First phase is scan phase. Port scan phase. It is also known as port scan phase. Port scan phase means it will identify what is the port number of that device and whether the port is reachable or not. That means whenever you are sending any instruction to that, it is answering or not. Okay. So first phase says what is the port number of that device and is it reachable or not. For Windows, it is WMI port probe, and the number is 165 port number. For Linux or Unix based devices, it is port probe is SSH, and your port number is 22. For SNMP, means networking based devices, it is 161. This is the port number. Okay. So these are the 4 steps of discovery. First is your scan. Second is your classification phase, because you from here you know what is the port number of the device, whether it is a Windows device or it is a Unix device or it is a networking device. You understood that. Now in the classification phase, it will check what kind of device it is. Is it a standalone device or it is a server? Okay. So here also you have to provide the credentials. If credentials are not correct, okay, if credentials are not correct, then it will throw an error, because what is the type of device, for that credential is required. Third phase is your identification phase. Now identification phase says that the device that you are discovering, whether it is a new device or is an existing device, because discovery is something not you have done only one time. It is scheduled. There are discovery schedules. That means it will be periodically, it will be running. For example, weekly, monthly, you are checking the same IP addresses, range of IP addresses, one by one, every week. So it may be possible that you have discovered the same old device. Now for that, we have identifiers. These identifiers basically check whether you are discovering a new device or an existing device. This is the main thing which checks for duplicates. If it is an existing device, so it will not create a new record in CMDB table. Okay. Existing CI record will be updated with new attributes. For example, um, last week I have installed a new device. Okay. And I have installed Windows in that. Okay. So Discovery has discovered that device with Windows as a operating system. Now I have attached a or I have installed a new software now. Okay, this week, next week, I have installed a new software. So Discovery will again discover my device with additional attribute that new software has been installed. Okay, so it will not create a new record in CMDB. Existing record will be updated. But whenever it will find a new record, new CI, suppose a new device I have given to someone, I have assigned to someone, new device I have assigned to someone, that is your new device discovered. So that discovery exploration phase, it will discover all the things related to that device. Any
Okay.
questions? So when we troubleshoot these things, we troubleshoot the different phases. When you get an error, you have to identify what phase it is. Is it a scanning phase? Is it a classification, that means credential error? Is it an identification? Because if you are getting duplicate record, that means it is a identification phase error. You have to check the identifiers. You have to check the IRE. Suppose mid server is coming up with a result, but it is not showing up in your table record. Okay. What table record is? For example, okay, we use Discovery to identify the device information. Okay. For that, I have to provide the IP address and I have to provide the credentials. Okay. So once the discovery is run successfully, it will provide the device name. You can see device name, operating system information, all the information that you can see, these are populated through Discovery. Though you can manually also feed, but it can be populated from Discovery also. Not only this, it will also give you the information related how many software installed, how many file systems are there, what is the serial numbers, a serial number of this device, all the things that you can see, everything will be, all the information related to that, everything will be gathered by the Discovery. Okay. Now, if your discovery did not run successfully, that means there are some errors. You will not get the device name. I mean, basic information you can see here, you will not get that. Only you will have the IP address to find out. So if mid server is, there are no errors, that means till here, sorry, here there are no errors. It has successfully scanned this, it has successfully scanned this also, this is also done, but it is not showing up on the form. That means there is some problem with the sensor. Then we have to check the sensor part, whether sensor is scripted properly or not. Then you have to check the scripting part of sensor. Probe and sensor, these are two things where in the backend scripting has been written. Though you need not have to write the script for this because ServiceNow has already written the script, but you have to debug the things that whether it is running successfully or not, it is able to capture the things or not, or anything which is missing, you have to check. So basically, in ITOM, you did not have to write any scripts, but you have to troubleshoot things. Any doubts, guys?
No.
So this is the type of discovery dashboard you can get. How many devices are discovered in last 7 days, total discovered devices and all those information. Not only the infrastructure, you can see software related things also you can get. How many softwares are there? What is the operating system? How many application softwares are there? Everything. BIOS information also it will gather. Now discovery is also related to your SAM. Basic is your discovery. After that, you can study about SAM. because Discovery, as I told you, store the information about the application software also. So when the software is installed, software life cycle, when it will be expired, all the things will be captured by your Discovery. So using that information, you can go ahead with SAM, Software Asset Management. Okay. Do you guys know anything about asset? What is the meaning of, what do you mean by asset?
Anything that is comes under companies
Okay, and
like software asset and hardware asset way. Like we can sell like all software purchased for the company needs will comes under software asset, and laptops and desktops services comes under hardware asset.
okay, can you tell me what is the difference between asset and a CI? Basic interview question.
Yeah, yeah. Here is
Any
the
ideas? Yeah.
configuration item.
Yes, configuration item.
Yeah. Asset is the one which laptops or the one physically thing. We update in the SIMDB with the help of the CA only. CA has the details of the assets. So
Actually, CA is the logical entity of the asset management, and where CAs are majorly used into the ITSM operation purpose, and where assets no majorly we track for the in the costing perspective, the invoice and charges, asset life cycle that we manage in the asset management.
Okay, I'm giving you one layman example. Suppose in your store room you have a new device, new laptop. Okay, that is an asset. Okay, if that laptop is assigned to anyone, then that becomes a CI.
okay, thank you.
Why I say so? Why I said IP enabled devices. Obviously it is in stockroom, so obviously it is not attached with IP address. Okay, so it is a asset. Once you assign this to anyone, obviously it will be aligned with IP address, so it will become a CI. Because CI main definition is it should be IP enabled. It should be associated with an IP address. Just a second. Is it clear? 4492. Okay. So, any questions, guys, related to this course?
Sorry, actually I was joined a bit late, but are we going to cover in the integrations part in this course actually?
Integration, see, integration, we have your SCCM integration and all, but I do in, in the PDI, we should have a account in SCCM or something to show the integration.
Okay,
PDI won't be possible, but yes, I will share with you a document where I have done the workshop and where step by step all the things will be there. Because see, integration is third party, right? So
yes.
only using Postman, I can show you because Postman is free.
Okay,
For any other infrastructure, I need to have an account, and all those accounts are paid generally. Paid, and they don't give it to freelancer also. You need to have a company account, then
yes.
only you can create.
This thing is that no, we used to deal with other tools like NNMI or SCCM. No,
I understood that. So that is integration related to event management you are talking about. Right?
Yeah, maybe sometimes if discovery also not happening, maybe depending on the client requirement, they want
Hmm.
to capture information from the NNMI network devices.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
by
client,
integration, we have to.
see client infrastructure, I can show you the screenshot, but I cannot do it in my PDI.
Okay, at least now we should have the overview of that one, right? How to do, I mean, maybe it's the REST or no APIs.
If it is free, then I can show up using
Yeah.
mid server because as I told you, I'm also working on the same thing. So I can show you up the client infrastructure screenshot and all, how we are doing step by step. I can show it up. But practically, integration is not possible because it is not, I think I cannot do it in PDI.
But is the discovery is possible? I mean,
Discovery is possible. I can discover my own device. That is
okay.
possible. Even I can discover other IP address also. That is possible. CMDB identification and reconciliation rule, that is also possible. Now
Got it.
discovery errors, I will
Mhm.
take up the screenshot of the client infrastructure and show you how I have, rectified the errors, what kind of meetings I have held with the client stakeholders to identify the things. Cloud discovery also I will show up, but obviously cloud discovery is not possible in PDI. So how I have done all those things, I will show you using, screenshot and all. Because client infrastructure also I cannot show you, it is in VM.
Yeah,
So they will not allow any type of, meetings and all, outside meetings. Hope you understand that thing.
that's, I do, I do.
So yes, the task that I'm doing there, CMDB is also a mess, entirely mess. So everything start discovery is not working. There are many errors. So I have, documented all the things. So how I am, rectifying those things, and these are the things I will be covering up in this training. That is a practical one, not conceptually based. Conceptually, obviously, what are the how you can tackle up things, but practically also I will show you up how what are the steps I am taking up, because here you have to have a meeting with stakeholders, multiple meetings, because you
Yeah.
cannot take decision your own. So how to create deduplication task, how you can archive the records. Suppose there is a concept called CMDB health. Okay,
Yeah.
for any organization, CMDB health is very important and it should be more than 80%. Okay, what are the different metrics of CMDB health we will discuss practically. And also there is a concept of archive. That means you should not delete anything in the client infrastructure. If you do so, you will have to face the escalation. So if anything which is suppose any records which is not updated in last 60 days,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are known as stale records.
Yes, sir.
And you should not delete stale record, instead you archive them. So how we can create archive rules, how we can destroy the archive rules, all the things practically I will show you in my in the PDI. Okay, and how I am doing these things in the client infrastructure I will also show you up. And there is also another concept called I mean, see, CMDB works it's like if you see, it's look like a bookkeeping type. So they can ask you, client can also ask you, we have an Excel, why we need CMDB? Okay, suppose you are about to propose some solution to customer, that why we need CMDB, we have Excel, we can go through the Excel, right? Excel can also populate CMDB, why separate CMDB is required? Now CMDB, in CMDB, one thing is important, that is a relationship. Any CI which is not having any relationship, that is known as orphan CI. And best
Yeah.
practice is we should not keep orphan CI in CMDB. You have to delete it. Either you maintain a relationship or you establish a relationship with 2CI, or you should delete that. Okay, you talk to your stakeholders that just create a relationship, or we have to delete them, because otherwise it will impact the health. Okay, so Excel does not keep relationship. Now, why relationship is important? For example, if any server is down, Excel will give you the information server is down. Now, what is the impact of server on other devices, right? This CI is related to other CIs also. Servers is related to multiple other servers, or primary, suppose primary server is related to other servers, and servers are also related to application servers, like that. So if primary server is down, then obviously the servers which are associated with the primary server will be down, right?
Yeah.
Then if secondary servers are down, which are associated with application server, that will also down, right? And then it will be down in the client infrastructure. Now primary server is down, primary server who is handling the primary server will raise an alert or event, something. Then primary server in, suppose these are in different geographical area. Primary server is in Bangalore, secondary servers are in Delhi, then your application servers are in Mumbai, like this. So primary server is down, the people who are working on that, they raise an alert. The secondary server, they also raise an alert. Now your or event, suppose, and the application server people, they also raise an incident. Suppose multiple incident or alert is there. Now there is a network operator who is centrally maintaining all the things. He is getting lot of alert and events like this, and all of them are of high priority, right? Now he has to take a decision. Okay, he has to take a decision which one should be up and running. Now for this he has to check the relationship. Application servers are related to secondary servers are related to your primary server, okay, main server. So if I make main server up and running, then all the servers which are down because of this will be up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Got my point? So he has to make a decision. For this, relationship is important. He will check the relationship. This kind of information you cannot get in Excel.
Yes. Actually, is the relationship is no discoverable something?
Yes, it is discoverable.
Okay.
This relationship we have also built in CMDB. We have
Yes.
a CMDB relation where you build up the top-down relationship as a relationship. You have to build
Even in
that.
sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Even in interview, it will be asked like relationship also is asked. Like CA and relationship will be asked in the interview point of view.
If they have created in their infrastructure, yes, because discovery will find out everything about that. Generally, in the interview, you have to tell that you have worked for the company premises. I mean, that their CMDB was not organized, so they will ask you what are the steps you have taken. So you try to run there will be, if discovery is not started, there are two things. Either discovery has established by some other company, because generally companies, in the contract basis, they hire some agencies to do their work. So if the discovery has been done by some other agency, okay, and it is not working properly, so they have hired your agency to troubleshoot the things and make the things up and running, then you will say that discovery was already established, but it was not working properly, so my work is to troubleshoot the things, and held a meeting with the stakeholders for each and every phase of discovery. For example, there were multiple discovery schedules which were running periodically, so these were not working fine because of different errors. You will say credential errors and all. So I have set up a meeting with them, show them the errors, that credentials are not matching, credentials are not found. So I've asked them to provide the username and passwords. Okay. Then after getting that, I have in the credential table, I have, populated all those things according to the name, different credentials, and again ran the discovery. So step by step, different phases of discovery I have troubleshooted. So you have to answer in this way, because see, when company is taking you, you will be the only person they will not give you a team generally. They will give you a good salary, but they will expect that you will handle client infrastructure alone. That's the same thing I'm doing. I'm the single person from MNC who is handling client infrastructure, and trust me, it is an entire mess, and they don't know anything. If you ask anything to them, they don't know anything. Client do not know anything. Everything is for you. I mean, you have to do. So starting with cleaning up, first thing is you should clean the CMDB. Then after that, you for cleaning the CMDB, discovery should be up and running. First, discovery should be up and running, then clean the CMDB, then configure the identification and reconciliation rule. Then your task is over.
Actually, I have one more question here.
Hmm.
Suppose no client is migrating from one tool to another tool, maybe no some HP CMDB or something, IBM to service now.
Okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
so in that case, how do we tackle actually? I mean, is it importing something or do we do otherwise?
They must be using, and that is something integration will take place.
Okay.
They suppose client is using Jira.
Mm-hmm.
Jira must be having some CMDB. I don't know. So now they wanted to migrate into CMDB. Obviously, integration will take place.
Mm-hmm.
That is not related to mid server. Mid server thing is mid server thing is if the client is discovering some devices in their infrastructure. I mean, you have to ask them simply. You will not take the decision your own. You will ask them, do you want to set up the discovery again by discovering all the devices again in discovery, or you want to integrate your Jira CMDB whatever into ServiceNow? That should be their call, not yours.
And actually, I have one. I think I case one of the case I have seen. They are using service now, same service now, actually same DB, and the CS have the linked with the many change request, right? When affected CS, when change an incident tickets.
Hmm.
Okay, when client want again they want to discover a new database, everything is came into picture. But in that case, no, how do we transfer or associate these tickets again to that CS?
For this, we have a service, business service. I think business service is something which actually triggers your incident and all. And business service is associated with your CI also. In incident table, we have CI.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So see, that depends. That is what I said. Initially, when I also got, they told me you have to configure your CMDB based on CI. Because sorry, you have to configure the change management, change tickets based on CI. That was their primary requirement. When I uh, checked the CMDB, that was a mess. Then I told them. So this training is basically about uh, how the discovery process, how we can clean up the CMDB in the client infrastructure, how you can troubleshoot the discovery errors.
See,
Once your CMDB is fine, anything which is related to CMDB, sorry, change, incident, anything, that will also work properly. Company will not come to you for anything. They want to clean their CMDB.
the reason behind I'm asking that no, actually I am into IT more than I think 12 plus years of experience into IT, and I work as a CMDB analyst in the front end. Okay, not the back end actually. Uh,
Okay.
so I work with the CA records and all these things. But no, I want to enhance to go through into discovery actually. That is the reason why actually I came to this one actually. So that is the reason I have seen many scenarios.
Yeah, scenarios may differ. So,
Yeah.
thing is, as I told you, there are two things. Either your CMDB is not clean, or if it is clean, then how it is populating. Here, whatever you are saying, where CI is related to, this is something where ITSM come into picture. This is not related to your ITOM. It is not related to your ITOM. ITOM is only the back end part. Okay, it is not front end part. It is back end part, and how you are cleaning up the CMDB, or how discovery is populating things or not, how integration using mid server is working, those type of things. Whenever you are talking about change request, any other request which is related to CI, that is something which it comes under your ITSM. It is not ITOM.
Mm-hmm.
Got my point?
Yes, yes.
That comes under your ITOM, ITSM part. Because there you have to write a script, or you have to see the data mapping, how mapping are done. That is not a part of ITOM. Anything related to scripting thing, that is not a part. Logical thing, that is not ITOM. ITOM is how backend is working, how data is
Excuse me,
populated.
all to interrupt.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, companies asking for scripting knowledge for the item role. I attended most many university to the recent time.
PowerShell scripting.
Okay.
So if your probe or sensor is not working properly, then you have to check the scripting part of that. And sometimes PowerShell scripting is also required. But it is a rare occurrence. Yeah, they are looking for, but ITSM plus ITOM is the best combination. If you know the ITSM scripting part and you know the ITOM, it will be better chance you get a job in a good position. Because you know the front end and you know the back end also. Only ITOM, if you only know the CMDB, only know the ITOM will not suffice. Any other questions, guys? So in this, to wrap up this, so we will talk about CMDB, how we can set up relationship, CI manager, query builder, how we can analyze different relationship using query builder. I mean, query builder is same like your, it's like a some sort of database view, okay, in ITSM context. So you can use query builder to build up the queries about the relationship between different servers, or you can create the relationship also. And identification and reconciliation rule also comes under here. CMDB health metrics, CMDB health, different metrics of CMDB health. Then yeah, that's all I think. And in the discovery, how we can set up a mid server. Okay, what are things to consider in the mid server? How to run the discovery schedules, cloud discovery, what are the different type of errors in discovery, how to troubleshoot them. And yeah, that's your clusters. What are the different clusters of discovery? Clusters means grouping of similar type of mid server in the same group, that is known as clusters. Load balancing cluster, failover cluster, we will see practically in PDI. Then behaviors is something like, suppose there are three things, right? WMI, SSH, and SNMP ports. So if generally you need different mid server to discover things. But if there is a scarcity of mid server and you need only one mid server to discover both SNMP and SSH, okay, suppose for example, then based on the behavior, okay, suppose the behavior you set, now discover SNMP. So mid server will discover SNMP. Same mid server, if you change the behavior, now it will discover the Windows, or it will discover the Linux device. So based on the behavior, how mid server identify that thing, that we will study also practically. All the things that I'm explaining you, all the things will be done practically. In the client infrastructure, I will give you the screenshot, and whatever we can do practically, I will do in PDI. And this is all about discovery. Then we have event management, how we can create an event. I can show you up in the PDI using Postman. Then how we can create event, how what are the event management rules, how events are converted into alerts, what are the rules, how we can do that, threshold and other things I will cover up. Then how alerts are classified, primary alert, secondary alert, how we can do that, grouping of alerts. Then how ITOM actually converts into ITSM. That part also I will show you. There is a one platform you can say where ITOM is converted into ITSM. That will I will cover up. And third party
Is that
integration.
within ServiceNow?
Sorry. Service now only.
That conversion.
Service now,
Okay.
service now. I mean that there is a
Okay.
particular what I should say. There is a particular place where ITOM converts into ITSM. That the thing that you are talking about, that is an ITSM part. That place I will show you. So then ITSM people will
Okay.
take up this. I mean, actually, alerts converted into incident. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
till
Okay.
alert, item part. Once it is converted into incident, it is your not only incident, change anything, it is ITSM part. Okay.
Got it.
And yeah, those things.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aditi. Anyone having any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Like all of this knowledge on ITOM in detail about all mid servers and server clusters, all these details are available in the ITOM certification course by ServiceNow?
Item, yes. If you go to the now learning, you will
Yeah.
get all the things.
Okay. Okay.
Shubham, the record that can be shared.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Can the record that can be shared?
Yes,
Yes,
record.
yes, this
Okay.
recording will be shared.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions, guys?
If the no if training is going to be start or something, no, what will be the timings?
Um, it will be in afternoon or in the early morning as well. It's totally depend upon the students if they want a weekend batch or they want a fast track batch. So you guys have to let us know.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Cool. I think there's no any questions left.
Can
So
you
we
share
can
the batch or course details?
sure you want that I will share that again with you.
Yeah.
Just ping me over this chat only. You need this as details. I think I already have your email ID.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
post over that as well. By the way, I will be sharing the post and course batch start timing and date, where I will be also posting the course syllabus as well, and along with this recording. Okay,
That will be great.
cool. So post will be going to be live in an hour. So keep an eye over the same.
In LinkedIn?
Mm, yeah, the post will be on the LinkedIn as well as I will be sharing this course invite over the email as well for your. Well, for
Okay.
those guys, I'm having those details. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Sure. That's all, guys. Thank you so much on joining this demo session. We're wrapping this up now. Bye bye. Take care.
Yep. Thank you.